Hello, and welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show with the crew that you expect to see on the Tuesday Night Music Show every Tuesday night. Mr. Howie Darkstar.
Hello.
Well, you know what we should call him, Jay?
What?
Let's call him Mr. Microphone from now on.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be a good name for him.
But can you get the effect of the Mr. Microphone? So
hey, babes, we'll come and pick you up later.
We're going to be coming and picking you up later and from my Mercedes 350 SL.
I probably could. Because
if you could afford a 350 SL back in the 80s, that's exactly what you would have spent $14 on. That's the best part.
Speaking of nicknames, we have Mr. Twitch with us. Or Mr. White Claw. I don't know what you want to call him.
Either way, I'm sponsored by both now. My agent, Izzy Itzkowitz, said he's working a deal.
Pastor Jay. You guys can pick on me for where you want to pick on me for. I'm an appliance man this week. I've been doing that whole thing, getting ready for that delivery tomorrow morning.
No, you're a busy guy.
Excellent.
So what's up, guys? We have no plan for the show, just like always.
You know, I've been deep diving some of the tracks because I'm off now.
Okay.
Meaning I just did my last wedding of the year on the 21st of November.
Now I'm off too. I get it. Yeah.
So, yeah, I look at this as, okay, I got to clean up my hard drive, got to check out crates, got to, this is like off season where you train and lift weights and diet and do what you have to do to be ready for next year. So I've started doing that. I'm starting to clean up the hard drive. I'm starting to do this and this. I updated the laptops. But I'm starting to get into the music thing, and I'm hitting, tell me if you guys run into this, I'm hitting that wall of, like tonight I did my Twitch set, and I played a track from a girl named Michelle Martin.
Okay.
And she's very Pat Benatar sounding, and I had the cassette tape, and I can pretty much guarantee I'm probably one of 6 people, including her, her husband, and her kids, on the planet that want to hear this song. But I'm starting to fall into that, I need to get this. It's never going to get asked for at a wedding. Like, do you run into that where you're like, your music versus what you need to play professionally?
All day long, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the name of the game. I mean, I could do this. I won't put you through it because I don't think you'd enjoy it that much. But I really don't. I won't make you do it. But I had mentioned to the room last night that I had done a virtual crate dig on Discogs.
Oh yeah, and you got some stuff.
I got some stuff.
Yeah.
And it's, records, and it's stuff that I like, and it's not anything that I think anybody else necessarily wants to hear. It's not anything that's particularly valuable. It can be valuable, but it doesn't have to be. It's just stuff that I like. There's stuff that I like that's very valuable. There's stuff that I like that's worthless, but it has no bearing on what, I don't know, your typical wedding crowd would want to hear. I mean, there's one record that I did buy because I saw it. It was in a seller's collection, and they were already giving me free shipping on anything additional that I bought. And it was like $1. So I bought it. That I thought, you know what, maybe someday if somebody wants me to do an all record wedding, I can have this, and it would really be cool to have it. But otherwise, yeah, I that's what the records are about for me. And if
think
you
about
think
the old days, like when you were a club DJ, your whole goal was to break music and to take the crowd on a journey. So part of me is now actually thinking, are we going back to that? Or as I get older, am I looking at the day and saying, you know what, let me run Cocktail. Let me look at the crowd and kind of pretend I'm back in a club in the 80s, 90s, and let me play this that they didn't ask for.
I think you can take those liberties sometimes. I think you've always been able to take those liberties.
No, we have, but that's sort of where I'm deep diving now. Like I played the Plimsolls tonight, and it's like, wow, I remember this. And like, actually, you know what? This would work with some newer songs because this is from like 81. So things have changed so much forward that they've now started to become the old days. And it's like fun to sort of throw some of those old in with the new and make it work.
I've got a random thought here for you.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm just again, this is nothing I really sat around and contemplated. This is just an idea that popped in my head. It popped in my head.
Okay.
I think that you would enjoy doing a local event just like the one you saw at the Tiki Lounge.
Oh, 100%.
I think you would enjoy that.
100%.
And much like Twitch, maybe you make $1 or $2, but if you don't, who cares? It's something you just enjoy doing.
Yeah, it's
maybe that would be something you could pursue.
Yeah,
maybe there's something in. I mean, it's not like you don't drink. Go to a bar in Temecula and have a crooner or whatever you drink, and say, "Hey, how would you like me to come in here on a night you got nothing going on and just spin some tunes?"
Oh no, and it's funny you say that. That's a discussion I had with Michelle recently about, this downtime. I want to start playing out and do what I'm doing at home. Yeah. But that's what it is. It's sort of like, I mean, I don't want anyone to get upset about this or triggered or whatever the terminology is today. But
I'm already triggered.
I genuinely think of us as professionals that are in a profession that you need to constantly use those muscles. You need to constantly be on the decks. You need to be
There's an argument for
aware. That. So for me, I'm at a point now where I would rather go out and play a few hours someplace for free just to keep those skills up, just to keep in the game. I did a wedding this past February. The last wedding I did in 2020 was Halloween. Did a wedding on Halloween. It was not a Halloween wedding, but it was on Halloween. And I had a woman that I knew, actually a very young girl, who was a waitress at a local establishment. And she mentioned, "Hey, I'm getting married." I said, "No way. Do you need a DJ?" She goes, "I can't afford you." I go, "When's your wedding?" She goes, "It's on Saturday, like February 20th. I go, "I'll make it work for you. I'll make it work." Because my first wedding is like April 5th. And I didn't want to go October to April without doing a wedding. And I killed it. She ended up tipping me the exact amount she paid me.
Yeah.
So she was thrilled. She's like, "This was nothing like I thought I would get." And I'm like, but that's the beauty of what we do. If you're really in this game to be a DJ and you're passionate, every opportunity is fun. Every opportunity is like you're willing to jump in the ring. I'm not a great techno or house DJ, but if somebody said, "Hey, you want to spin a house set tomorrow night at a club?" Yes, I'll do it. Because even if I mess it up, I'll learn from that. And if I do a good job, I'll learn from that.
Well, I think that there's an argument for what you're talking about. It's funny that you mentioned that because I just did a couple of Tuesday DJ gig tip videos. One I did yesterday, which was like late from last week. And today actually I'm uploading it right now, which is the Q&A video for that video.
Oh, okay.
And what I was talking about was the whole concept of, well, actually Deb brought it up in the room. Deb had said that there's this national booking agency that contacted her and wanted her to do an event at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Milwaukee for $300. Mm-hmm. She's like, "What do I do with this?"
Say no.
Well, right, but yeah, but hold on a second. I think that, and I'll bring this back around to what you were saying. I'm going off a little thing here, but I'll come back.
Yeah, or do it and kill it, and then the next time ask for 600.
I'll come back. I'll come back to what we were talking about. But what I told her was, and I think everybody's at a different place. There are some people who are at this place where, like, you know what? I'm an artist. I'm really good at what I do. I'm a professional. I'm worth this. I'm worth this money. You need to get this money. I command it because I'm worth it. I'm that good of an entertainer. Now, there are other people who have no confidence in their abilities, and we have those people. We know those people.
Yeah, we do.
Well, all I said to Deb was, because I honestly don't know where she's at, but I told her, I said, look, all you have to do is the math. Figure out what it costs you to go out and do the event. Mm-hmm. If it costs you more to do the event than you're getting paid to do the event, you're losing money.
Right.
So don't do it. Let the math do it. Let the math answer this question for you.
Sure.
Now, if you can go out and you can make $50 on it, and that's okay, go ahead and do it. It's $50 you didn't have if you really want to do it.
Right.
But yeah, if you're losing money by doing the event, go do it. And sometimes you could lose a significant amount of money if you take into consideration all of the things that you had to do to be able to provide the service. You had to buy the equipment. You had to insure a vehicle. You had to register a vehicle, pay insurance on it. You had to have a website. They had to find you somehow. That was an expense. Your marketing. And then you're out of pocket, like your fuel and all that stuff. And then a percentage of your equipment that you should charge because it's a tool and it's something that will eventually become mechanically obsolete, and you'll have to replace. So you need to make the money to replace it.
Sure.
Those kind of things. I did a video on that. I had a lot of people who were like, yeah, but. So I did a video on the yeah buts. That's Howie and I like to call them. But in your case,
Jay, the yeah but the intrinsic? Is the yeah but the part of, because I agree with 100% of everything you've said as far as there is a cost factor involved, like the insurance, the gas, the gear, the replacement, the batteries, everything. But there's also over here, there's this little box we rarely talk about, which is I've spent 25 years getting to here. Mm-hmm. Is it worth it to take a chance where I could throw it all away in one moment? Because today, with social media and video, and I'll give you a terrible scenario. I go do the $300 Marriott event, and there's a shooting. And I'm somehow in the midst of it, and it makes the media, it goes national, and my face gets on it, and someone sees me, and they start tagging me. And now I'm the DJ at a shooting thing. And all of a sudden it's like, wait, I just showed up to do a gig for $300. Now that's the worst case scenario.
Well, yeah, but it wouldn't make a difference if it was a $3,000 gig. I mean, your face was still in the media.
No. If it was a $3,000 gig, I wouldn't walk away from it upset about it. I'd walk away and be like, hey man, yeah, I did a gig and I signed up and that's, no. I would be okay with it. Like if I got burned on a gig that was expensive,
I was trying to make the connection here on why that mattered.
Well, but the connection becomes, and in that realm, it's, are you willing to give it up or not? Are you willing to take a risk? Okay. But let's say nothing goes badly, but it just doesn't work out for you and you look bad on the gig. Is it worth your reputation sometimes? I know George Michael once played a gig in Russia on New Year's Eve and they paid him $2 million and it was about 5 years before he died. And they made a comment about how he didn't make $2 million a gig. But for this gig in Russia, that's what he asked for, and that's what they gave him, so he went and did it. And it was a private gig, and it all worked out, and he made his $2 million, and off he went. So everything was good. At what point do you say, this could go south enough that I could ruin my life on it?
Well, I don't know the answer to that question.
No, but I just wanted to kind of throw that out.
Risk versus reward. There is no reward without a degree of risk.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I mean, I wanted to wrap back into what you were talking about with, going out for free and doing this thing. Sure. I don't think you have to do it for free.
No, I don't either.
I think that on general principle, I would advise you not to.
No, I wouldn't do it for free. I would say that, but the reality is I would say, how about this? And I'll come in here, and if it does well, why don't we look down the road at discussing how this could go up and not down?
Or maybe you do a thing where it's like, okay, look, what do you pay your bartenders? Pay me that, hourly. And
a bar tab of $800-900 would seem reasonable.
I will work off of tips. I mean, there are ways you could do this. I would just hate to see you or any of my friends put yourself in a situation where you're paying to do something.
No.
I agree 100% with the workout. I became a better DJ when I was doing Club Evolve.
Yes.
I was there Monday through Thursday doing stuff most of the time. I took all that. I make somebody else work Friday and Saturday. I didn't want to do that. I was doing mobiles. But I was working out, sometimes in front of a crowd of 5, sometimes in front of a crowd of 150.
You always get better. You always learn. You always go up. I've never done a gig where I went backwards. I've never done a gig where I didn't learn something. Like I did a gig a few weeks ago, did a wedding, and the guy's like, "You got any country from Texas?" I'm like, "What exactly does that mean?" You mean like
you were telling us about that? Yeah.
And I put it in my notes, and I got this, this one and this one and this one. And I don't, off the top of my head, I can't tell you the names, but it's in my phone on my notes so that when I get another country gig coming up for a wedding and I go, where are you guys from? Oh, we're all from Austin. Okay, hold on. Let me go buy, Childress and this one and that one, it's always a learning experience. If I go see a cover band with Michelle on a Sunday afternoon to relax, it's a learning experience when I go, man, I forgot to play Lit, my own worst enemy, because when the band played it, the dance floor blew up. I put a video up that you commented on. They played Renegade by Styx. I'm like, oh, I like this song, but no one's going to, oh my God, why is everyone dancing? Like, you're kidding me, right? Like, I should be playing this because it worked for the band.
Well, when you're doing wedding receptions, I think that most of us, with perhaps the exception of dinner, when it comes to the dance floor, the big bangers, I think most of us really feel under pressure that whatever you put on needs to be good. Like it needs to serve a purpose. It needs to be the best choice you could possibly make for that crowd in front of you. When you're doing a bar or whatever, you can kind of do weird stuff sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not necessarily the focus, which we tend to be, whether we want to admit it or not at a wedding. We want to make it the bride and groom, but really people are listening to what we're doing. It's the entertainment portion of the evening. When I was doing the Welcome to Rockville gig, and playing in between the bands or whatever, when I could play in between the bands and there wasn't somebody singing terribly, a Tool song that was awful on the microphone, I was taking some crazy weird chances in front of an audience that was a rock audience, and it was fun. I discovered some things that I didn't think. I wonder what would happen if I threw this track on. So I would throw that track on, not really caring what the result was. I was just curious as to what would happen.
But you didn't just stick to what. And you know, and
nobody was telling me what to do.
No, and you and I talked about music, but I viewed it as if in my brain, if I was at this gig, this is where I'd go because I'm into it. But at the same time, I'm like, you're so not into that music that was my conclusion. He's going to start winging it. He's going to be like, hey, everyone's staying alive and see if they all do it.
You say that, and I don't want to say that I take offense to it, but I'm like, what are you talking about?
But no. What I'm talking about is you're not as far as I know, you're not a big Anthrax fan. So,
but I know Anthrax, and I know Anthrax songs.
You know it, but it's not like I love Anthrax.
Hey, man, I was 14 years old once too. I mean, I just grew up.
No, I did.
The hottest girls didn't want to listen to Anthrax. The hottest girls wanted to listen to Wham and Prince, so I kind of went that way.
See, I stayed on the rocker road. I didn't go to the pimp road. Like, I didn't get the hair and the thing, and I waited till I was old to get the hair and the thing. But it's like, I looked at it and said, he's going to know what to do with this. But in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, you know what he's going to do? He's going to take chances. He's going to be like, if I play the outfield and I drop the volume, I bet you the people in front of me will sing it.
Well, just a little.
So it's not a put down. Don't take it as an offense.
No.
It's a compliment. But I could see you being like, aha.
I'm familiar with it. I knew the song. I knew a lot of the songs I was hearing. I didn't know the new stuff, but I knew a lot of the other songs I was hearing.
Right.
I know. I'm no stranger to a metal concert.
No.
I'm no stranger to.
But it's not your wheelhouse. Would you admit that? It's not. It's not where you want to be.
That's the weird part about it. I know it. I've lived there. I used to live there full time.
But you moved to Prince's neighborhood way after that, right? There are areas where
I was doing Prince before and after my metal phase.
Oh, okay.
So I've always been into that. I had a metal phase, and that was my main diet for probably about 4 or 5 years.
I would have thought weeks. Okay, years.
No, for years.
Okay.
And then I weaned myself off of it. Having said that, and this is the thing. I mean, some people just love hip hop.
Yeah.
And they're just, if there's a new hip hop song, they want to check it out. I was never that way with any kind of music. I like good music. I don't care what
neither
genre
was I, actually. There were bands I wanted to check out, but there was no genre that I felt I had to go follow. It was always like if something new, like when Husker Du came out and I didn't know who they were and I loved it. I was like, oh my God, what is this? This is great.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm like you. I'm much more open about new music and just absorb it.
It seems like I recently mentioned this and I I apologize for repeating myself, and I don't know if I did it on the show or just in conversation, but I remember seeing Metallica live.
Right.
Back in the old days.
Who opened?
Ozzy Osbourne. Well, no, Metallica was the opener.
Oh, yeah.
It was an Ozzy show. It was the Ultimate Sin tour.
Oh, good album.
And yeah, I was on board. I mean, so when you say,
love that album.
No, I did Ultimate Sin Ozzy.
I love Ultimate Sin.
So here I am getting ready to go see Ozzy Osbourne Ultimate Sin tour. Metallica opens. They're still playing. Like, they pretty much played the entire Ride the Lightning album.
Right.
They opened with For Whom the Bells Toll, and they closed with Fade to Black. I mean, that's how Ride the Lightning this show was.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember so I grew up outside of the city of Milwaukee, kind of out beyond the suburbs in the country.
Yeah.
And my good friend moved to the city. So my good friend and I, we like the same kind of music. So I went to his house for a couple days, and then we went to the show together, and then I came home afterward. So I'm at his house. He has cable. I don't have cable yet because I'm out in the country.
Right.
So MTV's on.
Oh, boy.
I'm getting ready to go to this Metallica show, this Ozzy show, metal stuff.
And they're playing Thompson Twins.
And I hear the Pet Shop Boys West End Girls for the very first time.
And you're flipping out. Yeah.
And I lost it.
Yeah.
I lost it.
I'm with you.
I mean, that's where I am with music.
No, I flipped with Duran Duran at the same time when I saw the very first Metallica show.
Yeah.
With with Armored Saint and Wasp. But at the same time, driving there, I'm like, wow, man, Save a Prayer, this song's killing me.
I saw Wasp as well.
Yeah.
They opened for Kiss during, I think it was Animalize.
Oh,
I was at that show.
Nice.
Yeah. See, stuff you didn't know about me.
Show. No, I never pegged you for being big on the metal thing. I
was for a while.
Funky new wave.
I did it before and after the metal thing. I tell you one, and I've said this before, I dropped out with Poison because it felt like they were really trying to cater to a mainstream crowd and it really didn't have the same spirit that the stuff that I enjoyed so much had. They were trying to be something. They weren't just doing something.
They were going for low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Like Talk Dirty for me was like, people actually at the time would say, this is really punk. And I'm like, okay, you've obviously never heard a punk album because this is not punk. They're just literally going, this'll work. It
sounded to me like the music you would hear in a movie because it was royalty free. To me, that's what it sounded like.
That's a great analogy.
It was like it just didn't have this. It didn't have
Nothing But a Good Time to me is still one of the best written songs, and written in respects to the chord changes, the sound, the production. It's a great song, and it's a very in your face. Hey, we're just going to party tonight. There's no bills. Don't worry about it. No one gets pregnant. No one's going to die. It's just, let's go. And for that respect, I give them props.
The only standout song I think they ever did, for me anyway, that I thought, hey, they took their time on this, and it's got a nice hook.
Something to believe in.
Unskinny Bob.
Oh, that's a good track.
Yeah. I really thought that.
And I bet if you deep dive, you'll find out somebody else wrote it.
Oh, sure.
If you were to look, it'd be like Desmond Child's writing credits or something, It'd be one of those, like Love in an Elevator. And one's like, man, this is the Aerosmith I love. I'm like, yeah, it's Desmond Child. It's not really Aerosmith. Ragdoll. Nah, it's Desmond Child too. I don't want to upset
Diane Warren or somebody.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I discovered something this week. I've been working for about 3 days on what I'm going to play next Monday.
That's right. The Howmaster going to Boston, everybody. If you don't know Boston.
This. Well, yeah. I was just supposed to go up there, set up a folding table in the hallway, do the show, and that's it. And, oh, no, we're going to give you a room right into the hospitality room right across from there. And, everything just snowballed from there. And I was like, okay, I've got to do some music as well, because it's going to be a combination of things that I've learned from you guys, like helping out, like with the music, for, your trip to Daytona and the chill room 2 years ago out in Vegas. And I'm like, I have to play some music now. They're giving me a room. It's going to be the chill room because they're going to be blasting the speaker testing. I'll be the room that people come just to hang out and get a break and sit down.
Well, you did gank my flash drive. Just use that.
No, but see, the thing is, my inspiration was like, well, wait a minute. We're going to be recording. People are going to be recording. How cool would it be if I can get some copyright-free music? Right?
Go to YouTube. There's like a channel of just copyright.
That's a scam.
I'm just saying, it's like
that's
at least
scam.
That it's copy free or that it's
yes.
Oh, because there's actually
I actually found an artist from Lithuania that he works from home, very poor over there. So he's making money. All I had to do is become a patron for $1 a month.
Yeah, the Patreon, yeah.
And his name is Igor Chichinsky or something like that. And it's copyright-free music, holiday music, okay?
Oh, nice.
And I thought, well, these guys are going to be doing a party after they do the speaker test, maybe something a little chill, and it's instrumental. So I covered myself with the regular, traditional holiday type music, but I also have that for background. Of course, the music will go off when I do the show, but that's what the rabbit hole I was down this week was like now, with the questions, and it's like, oh no, you're going to have your own room. And now I'm like, well, geez, I can't just sit in a room. So I'm going to be bringing some uplights for behind me because I have a 7-foot curtain, which I'll only use a little bit of.
Right.
But okay, I got a reputation to maintain. It's got to look good. It's got to sound good.
Sure.
And
yeah, but do you want to do like a TSO thing? Do you want it to be like, here, this is totally removed from what everyone else is doing? Or
exactly.
What about you doing like the stuff that you grew up with and that you used to do sound? Like these guys don't know Dolls. They don't know the punk stuff and like old.
But here's the thing. I've been trying to get roped into doing a bunch of stuff, and
at least they're not ending with some idiot's birthday party, right?
Right. They're going to be having their thing. I'm just going to do my show, for 1 hour, but I know that people are going to be in there before that.
Sure.
And I'm not bringing a bunch of DJ gear. I'm bringing one speaker. Yeah. I'm going to play, you're going to have some chill music to relax to because you're trying to get away from the big thumping stuff. Sure. And so that's.
Well, and Ben Stow's doing the speaker test, so I would assume it's like Carpenters and anything out of Utah.
Air Supply. And Flaming Lips. Those are his bands. Like they have nothing in common.
Wow.
Yeah. The first hour that's going to be broadcast on Disc Jockey News TV live will be copyright free for testing.
Okay.
And
good.
then once they go off air, then they'll try different things.
Then they'll light it up like DJs do at these little network shows.
Yeah. Then
like I said, at least you don't have some like chick's birthday party you got to contend with later on, right? It's just a normal show.
Well,
there's no one like posing for a lot of attention. My
thing is like I'm not bringing a controller or anything like that. Hey, look, it's it's coming off the computer. It's just background music. But I wanted it.
Don't worry, they'll all say that's how I do my gigs on Spotify. So you'll be
well. Let me just say,
I'm not there to DJ. I'm just there to do my show at 9:00.
I think all you got to remember, Howie, is that if you want to stand out, be different.
Yeah, play better background than they would.
And
play better background than they would. Play. You can't put your arms around a mystery. Like you play the stuff that you guarantee they've never heard. Like. Dude, by the way, what was that? Oh, it's David Johansen, this year's model. Oh, that was
Lithuanian Christmas music? Yeah, probably not.
No. They probably haven't.
Not.
No. And that will be a standout. But that's sort of the thing every time. And this is, you touched on a great point, on this, Brian. we do these shows all the time, and I do it from a manufacturer standpoint. So when I bring music, I bring 2 sets of music. They don't know this, or this is what I want to hear. So when we do the NAMM show, I start showing up with like remixes of Pantera and Megadeth and Metallica and Motley, and everyone goes, "What's this?" And I put it on, and all of a sudden the booth gets packed, and I'm like, that's why I brought this, because this is that audience. Expo's another thing. Expo's that whole like Jersey fist pump, and they're all DJs that do weddings, but they think they're doing house. And so do I. So it's like, okay, let me play something different. And that's why, you want to stand out. And it's a real query. I totally get it, Howie. I would be the same way. If they said, Pioneer said, hey, go and do this thing for an hour, I'd be like, all right, do I do my like Alice DJ set? Do I do this? Do I do that? But I actually appreciate that you're going for copy free and stuff they've never heard, because then it's like, when the phones come out, they're screwed. Like, wait a second, I can't Shazam this.
It's Christmas season now. Yeah,
Right.
they can Shazam it, and well, good luck. But if they did accidentally take a video with, hey, let's go in Howie's room, and we'll do a little thing, and then they put it on YouTube or something, or Facebook, they're not going to get a strike. So, I mean, but I wanted it to be pleasant, and it is the holiday season, and it's upbeat holiday instrumental, and it's like, classical music almost. So it's very different from what they're doing in the other room.
Is it songs we know, or is it the vibe?
This guy.
Okay.
No, he's the composer.
He's creating his own version of.
Yes, it's
So it's a little TSO.
music.
Is it TSO-ish? Is it that, like, TSO does all their own stuff? They're not doing, anything copied. TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, does their own music, but it's very, it's very holiday themed, but it's very metal themed because they're all metal players.
Right.
What is his vibe? What is his vibe? Pop, new wave, metal, hard rock, not rock?
No. This is a classical music vibe.
Oh, okay.
But it's very upbeat, and it sounds, it really does. I went through the whole thing. I went through like 3 hours of it, and just made a list to play. But it's very upbeat, and it's like, this is pleasant. I haven't heard it before, but it does sound like holiday music.
What store would I be in and hear this, and I would think, oh, this sounds great, I'll keep shopping? Like an upscale store, a bookstore?
I would say an upscale store, yeah.
Okay, so that's a cool vibe.
Yeah.
I would still, in the middle of it, for what it's worth, and I know Brian's going to agree 100% with me, the middle of it, I would drop like Beat in the Eyes by Molly Hatchet, just to take them where they need to go.
Yeah.
Take them where they need to go, Howie.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you I'm a DJ expert, but I'm just saying, if you can drop Molly Hatchet in the middle,
and
nothing says Christmas like Flirting with Disaster.
No. Yeah.
Am I right? Am I right?
And then I was thinking of maybe having some young, punk rock singer come in and, maybe, do something like last week that happened on the show.
You could do that?
Howie said that he watched the first part of that broadcast that was aired on DJNTV, and it was well received. And you were giving your live reaction to the
live reaction. The people
when we're done with this broadcast, I got to go look at it.
You got to go. Oh,
I haven't seen it either. So,
oh my gosh, and the innuendos and the double entendres, they were in there.
I'd taken a lot of allergy medication that day. I don't know if you guys are aware. I was having a lot of stuff.
You were fine.
You remember the topic was that lady that had urinated on the fan.
Yes.
Down at Daytona.
Well, not a fan, on a person.
Yeah.
If you urinated on a fan, it would have blown right back up at her.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to get known, Wendy O. Williams. I mean, we all choose our direction sometimes. It's like...
Well, I got to tell you, just based on the comments and seeing it for the first time, that's the funniest show we've ever done. That was last week was amazing.
I will have a look when we're done with this broadcast.
I will as well. Sometimes, I mean, again, my agent has told me don't always go back to it. You need to move forward. You know, he's a 75-year-old rabbi, and if he says it, I do it.
It was a good show, and it was hilarious. It really was.
Good.
Yeah.
No, you know what? It's so funny how music is, and I'm not being insincere about this. We could do this 7 days a week, do an hour show every day on music, and as much as you might look at it and forecast it and say, "Oh man, that wouldn't work," I not only know it would work, we could do it from now till like hell freezes over, because there's always going to be something within the realm of music in our lives that changes and somehow needs to be addressed. Like Howie's got a thing next week. He's going with Lithuanian holiday music.
Classical.
Like that's not
The guy
classical. I'm sorry, classical Lithuanian by an independent artist because he joined a Patreon. Like that's not even a sentence. Like that's not like,
no one's ever said those words together.
No one's ever thrown that out. No one's ever been in a bar going, "Hey, what do you want? Jaeger. I don't have that." Okay, classical Lithuanian
Christmas
music by an independent artist. I got that.
Not
royalty free.
Not Christmas.
Royalty free.
Not
classical Christmas music.
Holiday.
I'm sorry. Holiday. Oh no. Yes. No. Time out. Let's not offend. Let's not offend. Yeah. No.
You never know.
Well, actually, that was for me, it was a matter of respect because there's going to be people of various different religions there. So it is.
Wait, the show next week? Dude, they're DJs.
Yes.
They're DJs.
I know.
Come on, let's not get caught up in that.
They're human beings, and I thought holiday. Okay, I'm not gonna play the same old stuff they hear at Macy's, or whatever.
Play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No,
come on, Howie. Come on, Howie. Get on the limb. Howie, jump out on the branch and just go, "Hey, everybody, look. Santa was a Christian," and play that track.
We'll get Burl Ives in there, right?
I wouldn't mind Burl Ives. I got a remix of Burl Ives with the Beastie Boys. It's a good one. I think it was on the Paul's Boutique on the B-side one, though.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Let's not even go down the holiday versus Christmas thing.
To my madness, and I'm going out on a limb, and I'm taking a chance.
Oh yeah, and the limb you're going on has been like propped up with like the stupid media tonight. It's like 3 kids got killed today outside of Detroit in high school by a 15-year-old.
Oh,
because we can't say Christmas. That's not why they got killed. They got killed because it was a shooting. But it's like all this stuff just piles up. Can we just go back to the days of hey, do your own thing, be comfortable, whatever?
No, it wasn't my intent to go in any.
You triggered Jay is what you did. But it's not hard.
Well, no, it's not even a trigger, but it's
not
like,
hard.
Don't you kind of like that? When I was at Starbucks in 06, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't say Christmas blend anymore." I'm like, "Why not?" It's a holiday blend now. I'm like, "Why?" Well, because Christmas is offensive.
No,
I'm like,
it is.
But it's been Christmas for 20 years, and the owner of the company is Jewish. He was okay with it for 20 years.
My take on this, nothing to do with religion or anything. It is a holiday season because New Year's comes the very next week. So it's holiday. It's the holidays.
You know what? I quit drinking 10 minutes ago, and you've gotten me back to drinking. I'm just telling you right now.
All right. See, there you go. Now,
there you go.
Ryan was just talking about that earlier, or you were rather. Don't blame it on your, don't take responsibility for yourself. Blame it on me.
Not my fault. It's Howie's fault.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I get the holiday Christmas thing, but damn it, you know what? There aren't holiday carols. There are Christmas carols. And I can prove it. You know why? Because, and I'm going to say this, and I love my wife to death, but if you go on my DVR right now, the one that used to have Cannon, Coal Shack, Lost in Space, Blue Bloods.
I've lost control of the show.
They were all up there. Now it's like 400 different Lifetime.
Jay's getting angry suburban white male on me, and I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Well, you've got You've got
But Howie, here's the
10 or
question.
15 minutes to recover.
Howie, here's the question. Are you going to mix anything else in? Do you feel you have to do
I'm
just
not mixing.
copy free?
I'm not mixing. I'm just going
No,
my
not
show.
mixing. I'm saying mixing as in you're adding, not mixing like you're mixing. I'm saying if you make a playlist of 20 songs and there's 15 of them are holiday, Lithuanian, classical, Baroque, whatever, would you mind throwing a couple New York Dolls in there?
I actually will have 3 different lists. I'll be prepared like Brian was, like where you
how would you
heavy metal
intertwine
and
them?
he went with something else and it worked.
Right. So you would mix them in.
I wouldn't mix them. I would just change the playlist. That's all.
Well, with what I did, it's
I'm
not like
walking in with one suitcase and I'm doing a show and that's it.
What I didn't completely dismiss the metal. I tried the metal. I just got a better response from other stuff. So I did the other stuff.
That's my point.
Right.
My point is I'm taking my cue from you. If this Lithuanian holiday music is not hitting it off, I have alternate things that I can play.
Perfect.
And one of them is a Christmas music list.
There you go.
Oh my God.
There you go.
And you know what? I'll dedicate it. I'll be like Casey Kasem. We're dedicating this to Jay Brannan out and swinging Temecula.
No, I didn't say Christmas. He did. All right. Izzy Itzkowitz, my agent, Izzy Itzkowitz, is upset about this.
I just think it's weird, man. I think a lot of things are weird that Jay doesn't think are weird. I think it's weird to get all hot and bothered about Texas country when you're from Texas and visiting San Diego.
Oh,
I think it's weird because you're in San
Diego.
Too. Live in the moment, dude.
No. It's not your
live in the moment.
No.
You're not in Texas anymore.
Brian,
it's like going to Paris and saying, "Where's McDonald's? I need a hamburger."
No.
Why would you do that? I don't get it.
He's a guest at a wedding.
He does.
He's a guest at a wedding, and he comes up and he goes, "Hey, you got any like Sturgis Childress?" And
I'm from Texas. You got any Texas music?
No, I don't.
Why would you do that?
This is the biggest thing in Texas, and I'm like,
I think it's weird.
And I even said to him, I go, yeah, since we're in San Diego and I live here, I don't get a lot of call for Texas. But
don't get me wrong.
Write this down.
I understand this is a reality that happens. It's real.
Mm-hmm.
It's why Scrappa gets all excited when you say Men at Work. It's the same thing because he's from Australia.
Or the Sherbs. He likes the Sherbs. We can do a little
right.
excess.
He
gets happy.
Excess, and he just gets very excited about it. I'm not that dude. If you say Violent Femmes, I'm like, what?
I was just going to say that. I was absolutely
Steve Miller Band, Liberace. I don't care.
I was just
whatever.
Say that.
Yeah, fine.
I'm like, that's Brian's wheelhouse.
Yeah, I don't like go to Texas and say, hey man, you got any films? I'm from Milwaukee. I don't understand why anybody would do that.
Yeah, but
why leave it all if you've got to bring your culture with you?
No, but if Howie goes to the show next week and plays Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline, everyone's going to get triggered and go ballistic because that's the song in Boston.
But that's the song everywhere.
No, it's bigger in Boston because it's the Red Sox 7th inning stretch.
But they love it here too.
I know they love it there too, but they don't love it the same way.
But we don't love Texas country because we don't know Texas country.
Well,
it's the
I
difference.
don't either. But that's the beauty of music. But Brian, this is the point of our job.
No.
Every gig we get to learn something new, and somebody goes, "Hey, do you have this? I'm from Milwaukee. You know the Violent Femmes from Milwaukee." Actually, I did know that, and I can play "Add It Up" if you want, or I
understand that there are audiences who absolutely love Meatloaf Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Oh God!
I understand this is a reality.
Side note: when's the last time you played that?
The song actually smells like a bathroom because that's the song I play when I take a dump.
When is the last time you played it?
It's 8 minutes long.
Right. When's the last time you played it?
It's been
I can tell you, I have not played that song in at least 10 years.
It's been a couple years.
Yeah,
I have played it. It's been a couple years. It hasn't been 10. It was before the pandemic.
For me, it's at least 10. Because it just never hit out here that way. And I love that song.
Right.
I think it's a great song.
It's terrible, but that's okay. I think it's awful. Like I said, I understand people like it, like you, but I don't understand why you like it.
The white trash at your wedding that show up,
that you like it,
wearing the white T-shirt with the American flag on it. I know where you're going with this. Okay, you commie bastard. I know where you're
No.
going, holiday. Well, us Christmas wearing American flag guys want to hear Paradise by the Dashboard Light. So you need to play them.
Oh, jeez.
And if you play Violent Femmes,
cares?
I want Added Up
Who
or
cares?
Last Kiss. Don't give me Blister in the Sun.
Yeah.
Last
Well,
Kiss or Added Up.
I think that what happens a lot of times, I'm just going to address this, because you leave it hanging out there.
Well, I do what I can.
Yeah, you do it.
I threw you a
I can
softball.
tell you, if I may, what I would use now instead of Paradise by the Dashboard Light, I would play My Generation in 9 minutes. It's a remix
It's
by
a much
someone
better
called
song,
Brian S. Red, and it's 9 minutes long. So
The Who?
No, it's a
Brian
mix.
S. Red.
Oh.
No, My Generation in 9 minutes. It's by some guy named Brian S. Red.
Oh.
He did a mix.
It's
Howie
like
took a copy of
DJ Earworm.
Yeah.
Okay, I see where you're going. I got to look for this
Yeah.
kid on YouTube. Does he have a YouTube
Yeah.
channel? I can see if
No.
he's got a YouTube channel.
Well,
I
maybe.
think he has a YouTube channel. Yeah,
Might have a
does
YouTube
show.
channel.
But
I think what happens sometimes, just so you know, Jay, just so you know,
Yes, sir.
outside of suburban Temecula, California,
I'm
I
in
think what
suburban Temecula,
happens-
California right now.
I think what happens is people like Howie and myself
Yes.
recognize that not everyone is Christian and say to themselves, it might be nice to just play some general holiday music and just call it that, just to be inclusive for everyone. And
Inclusive.
we're like, yeah, cool, let's do it.
Yes.
And then Jay hears that, and what he immediately hears is war against Christmas, evil. Everyone's offended by Christmas. No one's offended by Christmas. We're just trying to be inclusive for everyone. And now all of a sudden, we're assuming people are offended. Yeah,
I play the Rudolph,
but I don't know who else.
I play the Snowman Loves Jesus song and all that stuff.
I'm just
I play
saying.
all those.
I'm just saying.
I don't get offended. Every time I got a party coming up on the 19th, and they're like, "Yeah,
No, I don't get offended
Christmas,"
either.
and I'm like, "Ooh, I can only play Charlie Brown that piano Christmas track so many times."
Look, I don't get offended either, but that's my point. I'm not sure that anyone does. I think it's a false narrative. I really do. I think
if you do a party this month,
I'm sorry that I ruined your show, Brian.
You didn't ruin my show.
he didn't ruin his show. And by the way, my agent says this is our show. He keeps hitting me in the air with like,
He's lying
"It's not
to you.
Brian's show, it's
No,
our
it's
show."
Lying to
show.
you.
It's
Okay, then
Brian's
I need a
show.
new show.
It's
Then I'm getting
my
a third
show.
show. Then we need a
It's
fifth
been
the
show.
Jay show.
We get the Monday.
It doesn't
the
matter if
Tuesday.
you
I
hit
need a
the Jay
Wednesday.
show.
I need a
It's
Jay
been his
show.
show since the late 30s.
And that's fine. Well, he's in a spot, and that's where he's gone, and and I understand that.
Well,
But here's the deal. God damn it! You made me forget what I was going to say.
That's okay, because we're gonna end it. We're gonna end
Damn
it.
All
Tune in
right.
next week when Jay remembers what
I remember what I was going to say.
Thanks
Good
for
night,
joining
everybody.
us. It's a weird show, but thanks for joining us.
Merry
We'll see you next
Christmas,
time.
everyone.